In this last screencast, we'll review the steps of engineering your menu with some tips. The goal is that after reading from the text, looking at a variety of food and recipe ideas, reading the interviews with seniors, and viewing these screencasts, students will be able to engineer a menu with foods included that represent varied ingredients and aesthetically pleasing combinations that accommodate the preferences and meet the nutrient needs of most adults. This step-by-step procedure is a good sequence to follow. It's not the only way, but recommended for entry-level practitioners. When choosing entrees, keep in mind there are other entree salads like chefs or Cobb salads that are also popular as a cold alternative at lunchtime, in addition to the cottage cheese and fruit that we've already talked about. Be sure to vary the cooking methods both for patient choice and also practical use of the equipment available. Everything in the oven or on the charbroiler might not be feasible, especially in a hospital where cafeteria and catering production is also necessary. When choosing the starch side, some fit more naturally than others, like mashed potatoes and gravy with roast turkey or roast beef. Others are not so easy. You have the greatest opportunity for shape variation with potatoes. Beans offer nice color contrast, but all beans, rice, and quinoa are small, round, or cylindrical, so be cautious about combining with peas, corn, or other vegetables and meats that might be chopped small. Potatoes, both white and sweet, offer the best opportunity for consistency and shape variations, and pasta offers another shape variation option. Vegetables and appetizers, which also include soups and salads, offer lots of choices for color, shape, consistency, flavor, and nutrient sources. Remember to include a meatless soup if both entrees include meat or fish, and one with meat if one of the entrees is meatless. Offer a broth-based soup if one or both of the entrees is creamy or cheesy, and if one of the entrees is more trendy, choose a more familiar soup. Vegetable sides can bring significant color to the plate. Consider combinations that include yellow squash or cauliflower carefully, as the plate can look very bland without the right colors in the entree. There are also frozen vegetable blends with names like Normandy, Capri, Scandinavian, etc., like the image in the lower right of the screen, that combine several vegetables, though sometimes the blend makes the plate too busy, and my personal experience with any that contain carrots is that the carrots are still undercooked when the other vegetables are perfect. Think about shapes and how they'll look together, as well as ease of eating. Generally, it's advisable to avoid corn on the cob and artichokes. Corn is difficult with dentures, and artichokes are large and messy and not universally loved. Salads seem to have the most possibilities for color, shape, flavor, texture, and nutrient flexibility. A salad with greens at every lunch and dinner is a good idea, but it shouldn't be just a green salad. There are definitely more than 14 types of salads that include leafy greens. The one on this slide is called a butter lettuce blossom, just one beautiful example. The colorful mixture with the cauliflower, celery, olives, and cherry tomatoes is a great way to work cauliflower into the menu without creating the dreaded all pale white plate. Not every patient will order a dessert, but if they do, they'll appreciate small and well-prepared foods. Brownies and cookies can be made with or without nuts, as your demand dictates. Cupcakes and cake pops are popular and can be made in several different sizes depending on the need. Parfait is the French word for perfect, and though traditionally layered with fruit and an ice cream-like frozen cream, parfaits can also be made with yogurt, pudding, custard, whipped cream, mousse, or other similar creamy ingredients, along with any fruit to suit different patients' needs, with or without seeds, fresh or canned. Even pureed fruit will look beautiful if layered and presented in a pretty glass. As you finalize your menu, first look at the big picture for varieties of specific foods. Then look at each day, then meal for variation of flavors, cooking methods, colors, shapes, sizes, consistencies, and even temperature. Protect your patients from plates that look like these. Though sometimes patients will ask specifically for food combinations that don't follow the guidelines we've talked about, at least do your best to offer appetizing foods. Try to identify the issues with these particular examples. And then notice also that none of these plates have garnishes, unless perhaps that carrot in the middle of the lower right plate is intended to be a garnish. Garnishes do take a few minutes to prepare and vary in complexity from sprigs of parsley, basil, or sage to tomato roses and apple birds. They're not required by any standard or regulation other than local policies, but they do contribute significantly to the beauty of the plate. And though not required for this assignment, if the plate you design needs to be visualized with a garnish, be sure to include that in your description. Last but not least, review with nutrient requirements in mind. Be sure that wording of menu items is descriptive. I've included a few descriptive words in the Wordle image on this slide. Then check, double check, and triple check for spelling. This is your field. Be sure you know how to spell words like cauliflower, chocolate, sandwich, and others that are commonly misspelled food terms. I look forward to seeing your completed menus in May, and that's the last of this group of screencasts. Thanks.